Welcome to today's Explainer. We're absolutely thrilled to have you here. Today, our main mission is to completely flip your daily driving mindset. We're going to transition away from thinking like a casual commuter and learn how to adopt the disciplined, highly aware mindset of a true professional driver. So, let's jump right in.
I want to kick things off by posing this question directly to you. Who is really responsible for road safety? You know, it's so easy to point fingers, right? We blame bad government infrastructure, terrible weather, or maybe a lack of safety features in our cars. But what if I told you the real answer goes far, far beyond sheet metal thickness or road design?
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the macro ecosystem, the 4 E's of safety. Then, we'll dive into the professional driver mindset and the art of defensive driving. After that, we'll cover hazard perception and spacing tactics. And finally, we'll wrap up with your daily safety commitment.
Okay, Section 1, the 4 E's of safety.
Notice how these 4 systemic pillars interact. We've got engineering for safer roads and cars, enforcement from the police, and emergency care for when things go wrong. But look closely at that first E, education. While the authorities handle those other 3, the entire foundation of road safety actually rests on driver education. It's literally your personal duty to know the rules before you even think about turning the key.
And here is why that matters. According to our source data, a shocking 80%, 80% of road accidents stem directly from driver error. Things like not knowing the right-of-way or just misjudging an intersection. So, despite all those modern airbags and fancy anti-lock brakes, you are the ultimate safety feature in your vehicle.
Moving right along to Section 2, the professional driver mindset.
This is where we need to make a massive shift. Let's contrast these 2 mindsets. Up to a third of drivers actually admit to acting aggressively out there. Honking, shouting, you name it. That's your classic casual driver. They're reactive, stressed, and basically just hoping the car's tech will save them. A professional driver, though? They are proactive and incredibly disciplined. In fact, our sources point out a fascinating formula. Vehicle condition is only 20% of the equation. Basic alertness is another 20%. But a massive 60% of safe driving relies entirely on your attitude.
The core philosophy of a pro really boils down to 5 main responsibilities. They put safety above literally everything else. They keep the vehicle in solid working condition, stay sharply alert, and treat all other road users with total respect. Because, remember, you aren't just operating a machine out there, you are entrusted with human lives.
To put that mindset into practice, professionals use these essential tactical frameworks. First up, MSM. That stands for Mirror, Signal, Maneuver. Check your mirror, signal your intent, and then only then make your move. Next is PSL, Position, Speed, Look. This one is absolutely crucial when approaching junctions. These are highly memorable, foundational habits you should be using at every single turn, no exceptions.
All right, Section 3, the art of defensive driving. So, what is it exactly? Here is the absolute core definition. Defensive driving means driving in a way that prevents accidents, even when others make mistakes. You could be the most skilled driver on the planet, but let's face it, not everyone else is. You have to actively anticipate the errors of others, whether it's someone running a red light or suddenly cutting you off, by just always expecting the unexpected.
How do we actually do this? Well, it comes down to a really simple rule of 3 process. Number 1, observe. You have to continuously scan your surroundings. Number 2, think. Process all that information and decide on the safest action. And number 3, act. The key here is holding yourself accountable to scanning and deciding before you physically react with the steering wheel or the pedals.
Let's look at some perfect examples of these defensive habits in action. Things like looking well ahead, avoiding sudden jerky braking, and adjusting your speed for poor visibility like rain or fog. This isn't just about driving slowly, it's about driving wisely. It's like you're maintaining this protective, invisible bubble around your vehicle at all times.
Which brings us to Section 4, Hazard Perception and Spacing.
3 seconds. That right there is your magic number. Keeping a 3-second distance from the car in front of you significantly boosts your chances of stopping in time if traffic suddenly halts. Just imagine a sudden dead stop on the highway. That 3-second space, it's literally the difference between a close call and a devastating collision.
But professionals know exactly how to adapt this rule based on their environment. If you're driving on slippery or icy roads, the rule of thumb is to take your normal speed and divide it by 2, and then double your following distance. So that 3-second gap, it becomes 6 seconds. This gives you the critical time you desperately need to regain control if your car starts drifting.
Okay, let's bust a massive driving myth right now regarding space and merging. We've all been there. You see a lane closing ahead, and casual drivers start aggressively merging early, blocking the flow. Actually, scratch that. It doesn't just block flow. It causes unpredictable lane switches and massive backups. Studies show that continuing in your lane until the very end and then doing a cooperative zipper merge decreases dangerous switches and reduces traffic backups by an incredible 40%. It keeps you safer and it keeps traffic moving. It's a total game changer. Now let's talk about hazard perception. You need to be looking 4 to 5 cars ahead, not just staring hypnotized at the bumper right in front of you. Paint a mental scenario for a second. What if there's a child hidden behind that parked bus up ahead? Or a cow wandering onto a rural road right around a blind curve? By looking further down the road and always leaving yourself an emergency escape route, you buy yourself the time to react.
Finally, Section 5, your daily safety commitment.
80%. I really want you to let that number sink in. It's estimated that 80% of accidents happen when drivers look away from the road. And here's the kicker. Just because your hands are on the wheel doesn't mean your brain is focused. Studies show that drivers talking on a hands-free phone had delayed braking reactions that literally mirrored those of an intoxicated driver. Human brains simply cannot multitask effectively while driving. No way around it.
So it really all comes down to this quote: a good driver reacts to danger. A professional driver sees the danger before it happens. I love that. It perfectly encapsulates the entire journey from being a reactive, stressed-out commuter to a proactive, calm, and disciplined professional.
Getting to that level requires a daily promise you make to yourself and to everyone else on the road. A promise to buckle up on every single journey, to inspect your vehicle, to never drive tired, and to completely 100% eliminate mobile phone use while that engine is running. It's an active choice you have to make every day.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. You know the 4 E's now, you know the 3-second rule, and you know that your attitude makes up 60% of your safety. So, what will your personal safety commitment be today before you next get behind the wheel? Really think about it. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and hey, stay safe out there.